Aquarius, welcome to your Astroflower reading going from the 25th through to the 1st of October. Yes, hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying life, are you? Hope you have a lovely reading. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, you're doing well. Overall energies here, Ace of Swords, winning on every front basically, trying to put that crown on. And you know, don't be ashamed or even sort of embarrassed to take that crown, you know, and don't be over egotistical either. Just sort of, it's a matter of fact. I think it's because of a lot of stuff you've done. You've created this situation, which is great, right? And it's providing the overall energies here is sort of saying it's a bit like an algorithm in the, you know, in YouTube and etc. You know. When you're working well, it works well, and it helps you out, you know, a little bit. Yeah, so the overall energy here is all about victory. Whichever you're thinking of doing at the moment, if you're thinking about pushing something, push it, basically, if I was you, Aquarius. You've got that Midas touch, it seems like, at the moment. Let's just see what goes on with the rest of the reading, obviously. But from the general energy here, that's what it's sort of blowing through. This is your karmic message on your relationship side. You can create anything if you so put your mind to it. And you know that, Aquarian. You know that. You have all the elements at your disposition. You have on that table there, as you can well see, there's a cup, there's a pentacle, there's a wand, there's a sword, and that's the thing of the magician. It's then the manifestation, and it's on your karmic path this week to start manifesting the relationships that you so desire. That also, you know, that works for you. Yeah, start manifesting from this week on. Strength card. The universe here is quelling all those doubts. That's what the universe is sort of saying here. And the universe is lending you strength. So basically, when you do actions, when you do something, when you try and manifest something, the universe will back you up here. If your heart is true and you're pure in the way in which you do things, yeah, the universe is going to give you what you deserve. You know. And it's within that action of the universe, within the environment that is around you, coincidences, everything so forth. I think you'll realise that your doubts are unfounded. And it's going to build inside you, build more and more strength inside you, confidence inside you, to really strike out and build the relationship that you, or the relationships, it could be sort of with your friends, family, community, as much as your partner, or looking for a partner. If you're looking for a partner, do it. Now's the time to manifest it, Aquarius. Now's the time to manifest it. Let's just see what's going on, how it's connecting your past to your future self. Aquarius, you're blowing cobwebs off everything at the moment. You've been on this mission, I think, for a long time, actually. I think this is where you're coming from. So this is how your guides connect the past to your future. This is on your super subconscious, according to the Astroflower. And I think you've been on this mission for a long time. You know, you've got that sort of cardinal fire that's coming out of you there. And you have got that sort of energy that sort of flows from you, from your past, and your determination to get things correct over long periods of time. You know, keeping your eye on the long-term goal. You're very good at that. And you've been on this mission for some time. Yeah, it's been a bumpy road. We've all seen that in your readings. You know, it hasn't always been easy. And sometimes you've had to stand firm and strong. And sometimes you've had to sort of loosen the reins a little bit. And here, I think it's a case of sort of saying to you, now is the time to manifest. Now is the time to create, basically. Blimey, got another ace. This is what you're working towards. This is your future self. This is how you're encouraging yourself, and it's very physical. It's planting physical connections with other people, seeds with other people. Could well be that if you're looking to have a child, and some of you, it's not going to be every single one of us. Some of you are going to be, if you're looking for that, then this is a good moment by the looks of things. But that is for a very minority. But in general, it's a case of sort of connecting with people in a very physical level, and actually start connecting in a way that could do with activities, physical activities with other people. It could be joining, let's say, like I don't know, a water skiing club, or a cycling club. And it's just connecting with other people in a very physical way. And I think it's connecting with your life over what you've done in the past, sort of 6 months, really, or 9 months, really. It seems like now you're in a position where you can literally pick and choose how you plant your seed, how you plant your energy, your emotions, your love, basically, your time, your effort into the connections with other people that are around you. Really nice, really nice, Aquarius. Let's just see what the overall outcome is for you. The Emperor. Owning your power, sitting in your power. And I'll tell you what, with that Ace of Swords, that Ace of Pentacles, the Magician, the Knight of Swords, and the Strength card, what the blazes is going on? Aquarius, you're really stepping into your power. This is really beautiful. And this is really balanced as well. This is really harmonious, actually. Because you've got this sort of, this light and happy creation sort of side to you. And going on a mission, it's like that's where you're coming from. But you've also got this very structured aspect to it all, and I think it's very matter of fact in a way in which you're doing things. And it's really good. It's really good. It's ultimately going to make you stand in your power. If you will excuse me 2 seconds, I'm just going to blow my nose. Thank you about that. So really powerful. Really powerful on your relationship side. You can literally have what you want. You can have what you want. We will be clarifying with the Light Seers cards afterwards there, and we'll see what's going on. Let's just have a look what's going on your financial side. That's it, mind blowing. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah. Making sure that you're okay and everything like that. I think that's the most obvious thing here. The fair exchange starts with you being okay. Once you're okay, everybody else can be okay. That's the way the universe works. That's the way everything in the universe works. There is a degree of that. There is also another thing, which is, and I've seen it in your cards. Yes, you've been working very hard, Aquarius. Yes, you have. You've been working very hard, or you've been working on your game plan very hard at the moment. And in order for this to all happen here, I think this really is an important aspect here of bringing things back into balance of work and play. That's what I think it is more than anything else. Financially, yes, I think you'll make sure you're okay. There's no doubt about it. But I do believe there is a case to be said for getting that work-play ethic into place. And I've been repeating it a lot, actually, with a lot of signs, and it's a case of working smarter rather than working harder, basically. And that needs nurturing, and the universe is helping you to nurture that, helping you to explore that avenue of working smarter rather than harder. And once you nurture that, and you know that, you certainly do know that, you do work on long-term plans, and you know that when you create an action on the world, there is a reaction, and that reaction is can be played out over a long time. Imagine if you had a massive boomerang, right? And you threw a massive boomerang out there into the world, you know, that goes hundreds and hundreds of miles. It's going to see different climates, it's going to see different cultures, it's going to see different sort of smells, shapes, colours, sounds, everything, and it's going to come back. Maybe in a completely different way that we anticipated, but knowing that you've already sent it out there, knowing it will be coming back. And I think this is where you can now consciously choose where you throw your boomerangs, where you throw things out there in the world that are going to come back. And this is all about nurturing the rhythm within you, and it builds up within you. And as you throw those boomerangs out, this builds up that rhythm that takes you to a place where it is a fair exchange. I think this is really important, nurturing your future in a very particular way that allows a lot of things to come out in your life that is not just beneficial to you, but it is beneficial to everybody else. But primarily, it does have to it has to be beneficial to you. Because if I'm part of the human race, if you're part of the human race, if I do something that's good for me, surely I'm doing what is good for the human race. Now, I believe in that, and I actually trust people. Some people say I'm absolutely mad, you shouldn't trust people like that. I do, because if we can't trust people like that, we're not going to make it through, people. We're not going to make it through. If you think your dollar and your pound is going to be able to buy it all back, it's not that. The moral vacuum has to be filled. So I'm believing in the rest of the world. You know what I mean? And yeah, I've been done wrong many times in my life, but then I'm not going to give up on that, and I don't think you should either. You know, that's a personal point of view. Okay, we get the Knight of Pentacles in your past, connecting your past to your future. This is what I was talking about. You have been working up. You've been really bossing up your play. You know, your pathway, your sort of career path. You know, you've been bossing up your play, basically. You know what you're doing. You've been working really hard in the past to bring you to where you are at the moment. And then it's like, let's imagine if you're sort of like going up a mountain. I don't know if you've ever walked up a mountain. I've walked up many. And there is parts of the mountains that are really steep, and then there's other parts that are a little bit easy. And you've just come past this really steep part to get to where you want to be. And now it's the case of you got to be planing, you got to be relaxing. Wouldn't be a reading without the devil at the moment, I'll tell you. There is not a sign that hasn't had it. It's really weird. And it comes out a lot within the financial side. The devil is in the detail. And this is where I think, this is what you're working on at the moment. And this is where you've got to really pay attention to the detail. In what you do in the way of your career path, your job, your business and your projects. Whatever you're sort of doing here, you know, it could be opening up a sort of sports shop or you know, sort of gym or something like that. You know, you've got to know how to put the you know, the machines, I don't know, the weightlifting machines around the gym in order for it to be a nice circulation for people to get a routine in their life and stuff like that. And being a bit obsessive about it, I think, as well. And so I think that's a good way. I think that's a good thing. Now, there is a negative side to this. And that negative side to that is that work-play ethic. Maybe you're being a little bit too obsessive about your success. It's a possibility for some of you, maybe not for all of you, but for some of you. So it's a double-edged sword you've got going on here. And that's what that success is about. It is a double-edged sword. You know, in order to get that success, it does take a certain sacrifice within our lives. And I think you've sacrificed enough, Aquarius. And it is time to sort of like let the pressure out of the system. Let the pressure out of the system. That's what it seems to be for me. And that's what's coming up this week here. Let's just see what the overall outcome is. A decision to be made. Hard decision, possibly. Only because you're making it hard, I think, more than anything else. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be bleeding obvious. And I think if it becomes obvious, that's when you can make this decision sort of blindfolded, without a care in the world. And people might look at you and think, wow, that's a tough decision to make. Well, no, actually, there's loads of land behind this person here. There's loads of things to discover and explore. You know, rather than sitting on that seat, just put your swords down and use them in order to explore the land that is around you. You know, use those swords for a plan for the future. Like the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is planning through your passions, what makes you really excited. This is planning in the way of what mentally makes you stimulated within your workspace. And I think this is a time of, is it a time of reflection? Not really, yeah, it is a time of reflection, I guess. It is a time of reflection. But I don't think this is reflection for you in a way. It is in a certain extent that you've got to make a decision, and to make decisions we do have to reflect. We have to use our past in order to help our future. That's where the reflection comes into it. But actually, I think you should just, you know, keep your eye on the ball and keep your eye on the goal and start making things work for you, basically. And this may need looking at things in a different way, and playing smarter rather than harder is a really good thing. I'm going to clarify with the Light Seers card here. Thank you very much for being here and showing your support for this channel. Really do appreciate it. The algorithm loves it when you do it. Sharing this across all platforms is absolutely brilliant. If you can do that, it's really lovely. Also sort of helping us out, there's loads of links in the description and below as well, where you can book up private readings, healing sessions, or even buy me a cup of coffee. And there's also our sister channel, which goes into everything energy, basically, where we go into chakras, auras, near-death experiences, the earth energies, solar energies, prana energies, you know, separate dimensions, everything that's to do with energy, basically. So that's linked in the description below as well. Let's just see what's going on for you on the Light Seers cards. Oh, are they upside down? They are indeed. You get the Two of Swords, Ace of Swords with the Two of Swords. As I said, I think this is a double-edged sword. You know, success is not free. It takes determination. It takes sacrifice of your time, effort into something that really goes for you. You may not see it as a sacrifice because you may actually enjoy what you're doing, and I hope you do. I really do, because then life is just one big holiday in theory if you love what you're doing. And I know that you can be like that. And this is like the overall energy is showing you the success, and now it's this decision. It's sort of kind of going, do I follow that success? Let's just say you became really, really successful in a career path, which could be absolutely brilliant. And you could be on the top of the world. You've got the chauffeur, you got the office at the top of the building, you can see the entire mess of the city that's in front of you, you know, but it's lonely at the top. And there's no one that's going to tell you any different. I guarantee you. It's very lonely at the top. And that's the decision I think you've got to make here. I think that's the decision you've got to make. So, you know, success is not always the abundance of joy and everything like that sometimes. But I think you are getting a lot of success, or you've got a lot of potential to get success. You've got to choose your level. And I think that's what that's all about. The karmic message that you will be learning is on the Six of Pentacles, really within your financial world, and also sort of manifesting the friendships that you know will last you eternally, basically. With the Magician card, you get the Five of Wands. Okay, so the karmic message here is you're creating stuff. Don't get caught up in petty conversations or petty conflicts that are just ego driven. That's for a start. And extract yourself from any conflictual environments in regards to your relationships that doesn't really serve you anything. Just for seeking the highest ground, seeking the highest version of yourself. When you seek the highest version of yourself, any conflict that is around you can no longer touch you. And that's what you got to start manifesting. Let's see what's going on your the strength card. This is what the universe is offering you. A whole new cycle. Death and rebirth here. I think you've positioned yourself very particularly. If you go back over the readings over the past sort of 6, 7, 9 months, what am I talking about? 9 months, yeah, 9, 10 months, since the beginning of the year, quite literally since the beginning of the year. If you go back over since the beginning of the year, you've had this repeating cycle where you've had to stand your ground a lot due to values that are within you. And I think this is now, because you're into a position where it's you're the one that's creating all of this. I think this strength card now is bringing you, having the conviction of your actions, and that's bringing you to a totally new environment within your life. And it's taking you to a whole new position where you can, you will not have doubts in your future. Because you know what you're putting in, so you know what you should be getting out. If you're not getting out what you put in, and you know what you've put in, you know someone's messing with it, basically. That's what the situation. And the moment you realise someone's messing with it, then that's when you can turn around and kind of go, right, okay, I'm going to extract myself from that sort of like, from that situation, and be the best example of myself, and just sort of say no. But here is, you have a huge and wonderful opportunity for you. Yeah, the past self reaching to the future self is all about reaching for your dreams, your aspirations, the ideal, the ultimate scenario concerning your relationships, and you're on that mission. You're on that mission to get the best out of life. And why not? Why wouldn't you be? I would be. I am. You know, I'm not saying I get it every single time, but, you know, there's sometimes a bit of a fly in the ointment. But yeah, and that's what you've been working for. The Ace of Pentacles, you get the Empress card. You've now got the Emperor and the Empress card. This is divine counterparts that's coming in for you, because this is a clarification card. So this is really from the exterior that's coming into your life. So you are the Emperor at the top, and someone who is like the Empress who is coming into your life, which is connected to you of starting something really fantastic new. Could be, you know, buying a house with someone, or you know, moving in with someone, or committing in a way that is legally binding. You know, there's a physical aspect to it all here. This person that comes into your life is giving you the possibility out of emotional conviction, okay, or emotional control over their environment. And this could well be you as well, influencing this, that you're offering up to someone, the Emperor, someone who has control over their physical environment. You know, it depends on where you're coming from, really. But you know, it can work both ways. That's all I'm trying to say. But here is this future self that you are working on a new plan, and that's what the Magician card is all about as well. You've decided to engage in the world that is actually going to create a whole new world for you. And it's really beautiful, Aquarius. Really, really lovely. Let's see what's going on the Emperor cards. The Emperor, Lawless. Yeah, this is it. Divine counterpart coming into your life, or they may actually already be in your life, and you might just be realizing it. But this Emperor card here, the Emperor has a control over his physical environment, his physical empire. That's why he's the Emperor. As much as the Empress has a control over her empire through her emotions, she is the Empress. And these two coming together, it's a very, very powerful scenario for you, Aquarius. Yeah, real lovers, real passionate love for someone, you know, and respect. There's a lot of respect there as well, respecting the position of the other. It's like an emperor and an empress coming together and kind of going, I respect your empire, and I respect your empire. You know, and as you respect your empires together, this is where you kind of think, well, actually, we go well together. I just got a little spider. There you go, my friend. Sorry about that. Yeah. You are creating it. This is what you got to know. I think this is what you got to understand. What you put out is what you're going to get back. And I would literally reach for the stars. It's absolutely blinding reading. Let's see what's going on your financial side. With the Six of Pentacles, yes, you get the Eight of Wands. A lot of information coming in here. The moment you start working smarter and not harder, I think you start realizing a lot and start realizing the gifts and the opportunities that are coming into your direction, and also people confirming this around you. As well, I think the more that you sort of make that fair exchange apparent within your life, the more that people will recognize that within you and communicate to you and connect with you in a way that really brings the best out of them as much as out of you as well. With the Seven of Pentacles, you get the Four of Pentacles. I'd be very conscious about what you nurture. This is what playing smarter is all about. This is a beautiful card to go with the Seven of Pentacles. Basically, that Seven of Pentacles there, right? I don't know if you've ever grown tomatoes in your life, but sometimes it's good to take off a tomato every now and then that hasn't quite grown yet, because you allow the other tomatoes to grow bigger. And you're consolidating your efforts into certain tomatoes, and this is what this is all about. If you really want to nurture a very good future for you, you have to understand that sometimes you need to prune a little bit in order to get the best out of the tree, get the best out of the fruit, get the best out of yourself. And concentrating on what you nurture your time and effort into. The universe, if you do this and play smarter, the universe will really help you out. There is no doubt about it. Okay, and the universe is trying to help you out, to help you realize what is good. With the Knight of Pentacles, you get my favorite card, the Hierophant. The Hierophant knows the steps that they need to take in order to get to where? To get to that puppy there. Yeah. So I think these two sides are very connected, and this could well be the playing smarter rather than harder sort of scenario. And through your work, you've understood the steps in order to get to where you should be, and the ultimate position of where you should be, basically. So, sorry, I just needed to check that it was recording. Do apologise. Let's see what's going on with the Devil. Did you make a deal? Yeah. You know, success comes out with obsession. You know, it's, what's that phrase? It's something like, if you do 20,000 hours of practicing something, you will automatically become a master of what you're practicing at. That's just the way it goes. You know, once you really get obsessed about what you're doing, it will bring you success. And it does bring you success. But here we have the opposite down here, which is the Six of Pentacles. Yeah? So this is what you're learning from this. And this success, what is coming in, and this is where you've got to be very attentive of the detail, basically. And what really, you know, what is worth it? What's the cost of that success? That's the sort of sensation I'm getting behind it. You know, so, and it doesn't matter what level you're on. You know, if you sort of said, oh, I want to have this particular house, therefore I'm going to work 3 jobs, don't worry about my kids and my family and stuff like that, you're not going to get a good family relationship. You've got to be honest with yourself. And, you know, in the past, a lot of people have had to work 80 hours a week in order to get, you know, just ends meet. You know, in the past, it was mad. But it was a completely different structure and in society back, you know, whatever, how many years ago it was, you know, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, whatever it is. You know, a different sort of situation. But you've got to realise this is it. Your success has a cost. And I would just be wary of that success. Yeah, I think this is where the decision comes in, playing smarter rather than harder. This is what the decision is avoiding, as far as I can tell. You know, you could get this if you do not make this decision within your life, and get a lot of clarity within that sort of aspect of it all. You could create a repetitive nightmare for you, nightmare situation, repetitive stressful situation, because of this. And this is where a decision needs to be made so you can actually stop that from happening in your life, and you could be a lot more successful. Look at it like this. I you know, if I put out there every day that I believe that we can create technology that can take from the magnetic field that is around us, make the thing function, and as the thing function, it radiates that magnetic field back into the magnetic field, so it doesn't actually take a lot from the system. Don't believe you never take anything from the system. You've got to take in order to convert, in order to create. That's just the way it goes. You do not believe that electric cars are, you know, don't have a cost. They have a massive cost, like everything we do. And you know, we have to be conscious about what costs we're willing to support in order to make this function, this society function, the human race function, also to look after this planet, because she doesn't need looking after, but you know, she might, you know, like anything, she needs to be loved, basically. So I think every day is sort of kind of going, I'd like that person to build that car that has that sort of capacity to take the electromagnetic field that is around it, create energy, and then drive and not really create any pollution. And eventually one day that person is going to come up with that thing. And when they come up with it, let's call them Bob, or no, Jane. Yeah, let's call them Jane. Yeah, and Jane comes up with this new automobile thing. Absolutely brilliant. It works like a treat. Everyone knows it as the Jane-mobile, right? And she doesn't have to pay for a thing ever again in her life. She doesn't have to worry about where she's going, what she's doing. She has so much respect from everybody for what she's done that she doesn't actually need anything. And that is worth, you know, the respect that you get from other people is worth way much more than what the money can give you. And I think there's a certain degree of a question that is posing within your life, a sort of scenario within your workspace. So I would really take on that idea of working smarter rather than harder. There you go, Aquarius. I've really rabbited on way too long, probably. I do apologise. But there you go. It's just the way it goes. Yes, there's loads of links in the description below. Thank you very much for being here, showing your support for this channel. Really do appreciate it. And don't forget our sister channel, Cymatic TV, that deals with everything energy. I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.